You won't believe what just happened to my guest house. So I wake up one morning, totally normal day, go outside, and find a strange car parked in my driveway. No big deal, until I see asterisk her asterisk. This woman, who I've only met once at a neighborhood BBQ, is standing there taking photos of my guest house like she's listing it for sale or something. I walk up and ask what she's doing, and she hits me with, "Oh, I've decided I need this space for storage. I'm calling my lawyer to make it official." Asterisk what? Asterisk. Turns out, she's convinced herself that because her property line asterisk sort of asterisk runs near the corner of the fence, she has some weird claim over my guest house. Mind you, this is a building fully on my land, built by asterisk me asterisk, and used for friends, family, or the occasional urban rental. She says it's community space and that I don't even use it enough, so she should have it. You can't make this stuff up. And yes, she really called her lawyer. Now I'm stuck in this ridiculous situation, watching this unfold like it's some kind of suburban soap opera. But just when I thought it couldn't get any weirder, something happened that changed asterisk everything asterisk. So here's some background to give you a clearer picture. I've owned this property for years. I saved up, planned everything, and built the guest house as a personal project. It's not huge, but it's cozy, fully furnished, has a little kitchen, a bathroom, and even a nice porch. Over the years, it's been a space for visiting relatives, a peaceful spot for reading, or sometimes a short-term rental when I'm traveling. There's no confusion about who owns it. It's on my land, behind my fence, with its own separate address. Nothing about it screams community property. But this neighbor, let's call her Karen, just moved into the house 2 lots down about 6 months ago. She's always been a little asterisk extra asterisk. Loud complaints about leaves from my tree landing in her yard, weird comments about my solar lights being too bright, and once she even left a note asking if I'd share my Wi-Fi for neighborhood harmony. I brushed it off. But now this whole guest house thing, it's on a whole new level. Apparently, she found some old property survey from before the fence was rebuilt and thinks it gives her a claim. But what's more bizarre, her lawyer actually asterisk called me asterisk, left a voicemail saying we need to come to terms or he'll file something. And then things started getting even stranger. That same night after the lawyer's voicemail, I noticed someone had moved one of the patio chairs on the guest house porch. It was subtle, but I knew it wasn't me. Then the next morning, I found a folded note taped to the guest house door. It read, "This space is no longer being used to its full potential. Consider transferring use to someone who needs it." No name, just that. I couldn't prove it was Karen, but who else could it be? Things were clearly getting out of hand. I started asking around the neighborhood, trying to figure out if anyone else had dealt with something similar. Turns out, I wasn't the only one. Another neighbor, Jen, told me Karen once tried to claim part of her asterisk driveway because it looked better aligned with Karen's fence. Jen said she just ignored her, and eventually the drama fizzled out. But with me, it felt different. There was this creepy persistence to it. Then, out of nowhere, I get a letter in the mail, official looking, with legal formatting, claiming there was a disputed zone between our properties. The kicker: Karen marked the guest house as being within questionable boundary. This was literally fabricated, but she was playing the long game, trying to turn this into a real estate battle. And that's when something happened I definitely wasn't ready for. A few days later, things took a serious turn. I came home from work and noticed the side gate to my backyard, where the guest house is, was wide open. That gate is always locked. Always. I walk in and instantly feel that something's off. The porch light is on. The curtains are drawn. And when I get closer, the front door to the guest house is unlocked asterisk. I step inside, cautiously, heart pounding. It looked like someone had been inside. A few things were moved around. Pillows tossed on the floor, cabinet doors left open. Nothing was missing, but the weird part. A stack of empty moving boxes was sitting in the corner, like someone had started packing, or planned to. That's when I saw it, on the kitchen counter, a printed form with Karen's name at the top. A notice of intent to claim shared usage rights. Not from the city, not from any real authority, just something she clearly made herself. But it was enough to send chills down my spine. I called the non-emergency line and filed a report, just in case. But now I knew this wasn't just some petty neighbor drama anymore. Karen wasn't backing off. She was escalating. And the craziest part, the next morning, I woke up to find a moving truck pulling into. I called the non-emergency line and filed a report, just in case. But now I knew this wasn't just some petty neighbor drama anymore. Karen wasn't backing off. She was escalating. And the craziest part, the next morning, I woke up to find a moving truck pulling into my driveway. That's when I realized she was actually going through with it. I stood there, staring at the moving truck in my driveway, like I was in some kind of dream or nightmare. The driver gets out, casually glances at me, and says, "We've got the guest house on file for a partial move-in. Should take an hour or two." I was frozen. What do you even say to that? I told him flat out that he had the wrong house, that no one was moving into anything here. He looked confused, double-checked his clipboard, and then said, "It's under Karen's name." She said she was leasing the guest house from the owner. I had to actually show him my ID and property records to prove was the owner. He apologized and pulled the truck back out, thankfully. But the fact that Karen had booked an actual moving company, that she told them she was leasing my guest house, that wasn't just annoying anymore. That was dangerous. I tried to calm down, but just as I thought the chaos was over, I checked my email. There it was, a notification from a short-term rental site saying my guest house listing had been claimed for co-hosting by a new user. Guess who? Karen. She had found my old Airbnb page and somehow submitted herself as a co-host. I hadn't used that listing in months, but she dug it up, activated it, and was trying to manage bookings herself. That's when I realized this wasn't just about storage anymore. At that point, I'd had enough. I gathered every piece of evidence, photos of the guest house, copies of my property survey, even security footage showing Karen snooping around. I took it all straight to my lawyer. Within 2 days, he had a cease and desist letter drafted and hand-delivered to Karen's house. It was firm but legal, spelling out that any further attempts to claim or access my property would result in legal action. For once, Karen went quiet. No calls, no notes, no mysterious visitors. I thought it was finally over. A few weeks passed. Things felt normal again. I changed all the locks, installed extra cameras, and shut down my old Airbnb listing completely. But just when I let my guard down, I got a call from a local real estate agent. He said he'd been contacted about listing the guest house as a potential rental and wanted to do a walkthrough. He was under the impression Karen was the property manager. I nearly dropped the phone. I met with him the next day, showed him the legal documents, and thankfully he backed off immediately. But that wasn't the twist. The real shock came when I checked with the county records office. Turns out, Karen had submitted an unofficial claim of interest on the guest house, trying to make it look like a shared asset in case of future legal disputes. It had no standing, but it was sneaky. That's when I realized Karen didn't want the guest house for storage. She was trying to boost her own property value by pretending she had access to mine. It was all about appearances. And even after everything, I still occasionally catch her walking past, looking at the guest house like she's already decorating it in her head. After that final stunt with the fake claim, I made it crystal clear to Karen and everyone in the neighborhood that my guest house was not up for grabs, not shared, and definitely not hers to play games with. My lawyer sent a final warning, and I filed a formal notice with the county to block any future false claims. It wasn't fun, but it shut everything down fast. Karen hasn't tried anything since. No more notes, no more trucks, no more co-hosting. Just awkward side glances when we pass each other walking our dogs. Looking back, I still can't believe how far she went just to get access to something that wasn't hers. All that chaos, all those lies, for what? A little extra storage and a prettier real estate listing. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that you've got to protect your space, physically and legally. Set boundaries, document everything, and never assume that no will be enough for people like Karen. So yeah, the guest house is still mine. Always has been. And after this whole mess, it's never looked better. New locks, new cameras, and way more peace of mind. Thanks for sticking through this wild ride. And remember, *, your property is yours for a reason *. Don't let anyone rewrite that story.